Hey girl. So, hey Mandy. What I'm going to do is just introduce like the idea of what we're trying to do. This video, I'm just going to go through like a couple of examples of what we can do for a lower body day and an upper body day in terms of the warm up, and maybe also some variations on some of the movements. Just so you know, this process of you becoming like comfortable in the classes and understanding how your body's feeling, probably going to take about 2 weeks, and that is so fine. It just takes about that time more just to like do all the classes, do all the movements, and sort of figure out like, oh, actually this is fine, and we might have thought it might not be, and vice versa. We might go, oh yeah, Mandy, like do that, and then you might start doing it, and you're like, I don't think this is working well. So about 2 weeks of us just playing around. The goal is you coming in consistently, and to help with that consistency, I'm just going to give you a heads up on like what type of warm up to do. I could prescribe you a warm up, but again, like I don't know if those tools are going to be the right thing for the method we're trying to achieve. And so here is the method. And so any tools that you think fall underneath this, they're going to work great. So the first thing we want to do in a warm up is increase your blood flow. When you come into the gym, and especially like at 5 a.m., your body's not quite warm in terms of that it's gotten into an active state. So right now I'm in a rest state. A lot of blood is in my digestive system. It's not in my muscles and joints, and they're not primed for movement. So to increase this blood flow, that's what we're going to do. I'll show you the details in a second. The other thing is we're going to increase the mobility of the main joints. Now, the reason why I say that is a lower body day. You got your ankles, knees, and hips. We want to try and get those mobilized, so working them around. And an upper body day, wrists, elbows, shoulders. It's pretty much that. Again, we're going to try and stay away from things that aggravate your core, which I'll go through in a second. But here is the main vibe. And now here are some examples of what can get that for you. So Mandy, I can't think of anything much better for you than the assault bike to warm up, in terms of that, like it's not going to really work your core too much or put it under too much strain, but it's a whole body movement. So you're using your arms, they're pushing and pulling, your legs are going through a whole cycle. So this will be great. The annoyance is that the wind is cold when you're warming up. So keep your layers on. I'd go into this like, yeah, if you sort of see the warm up and there's just mobility movements aren't working for you, or you're a couple minutes early, jump on this. And then you don't want to go like slow like I am at the moment, but just like a nice pace. You might find with your core that like leaning over like this feels uncomfortable. Hell yeah, just go like this. Warm up those legs on that lower body day, and just doing this will bring your heart rate up. It'll get your body from that rested state into that ready state. So all the blood moves into your muscles and all that sort of stuff just from doing this. So here's our first one on the ergs. I don't think the ski or the row will work out too well. The ski uses your abs quite a bit. For the moment, let's stay away from that. Now the question becomes, what can Mandy do without twisting and rotating her core too much to warm up your legs? So with your legs, you got your ankles, you got your knees, you got your hips. This is like a super easy one, and you can do it for like a while too. So come on, like might see the warm up going on, and I'm gonna guess that most of the time we do those like, well, you can see from there. So I think that this might be a little bit much. You can totally stay down there and just like move your hips around a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure that the down dog into the seal won't be too good. This bit stretches your abs quite a bit. That'll feel uncomfortable, I'm assuming. So you could try it, but I don't have a lot of hope. What's the other one we do? Lizard, that. Oh, and then the iron cross. Doing this thing, I don't know how it's going to feel on your stomach when you're going across like that. It's great movement, but all of those might feel a bit weird. So if you see us like doing any of that stuff, you can just be like, cool. So assault bike for a little bit, and then doing these circles. So what we're doing here is just your joints moving around, getting more mobile, and lubrication in the joint is what we're trying to promote just by moving them. So you can do some circles, and you can hold on to this just to make sure your core's not working too much. So I don't know, like 10 each direction. You'll sort of know when you got it about it. This is another good one. So hands on your knees and moving your knees like this. Totally cool. So go either direction, go in opposite directions, make it fun. And then the last one, this is like, I wouldn't say it's like underrated, but I'm thinking I should use it more. And it's just swinging your leg backwards and forwards. What's great about this is going to open up your hip flexor a little bit. You'll also feel your glute and your hamstring opening up, and you shouldn't feel your core doing too much. You don't need to do like this and put in a lot of effort. Just moving it backwards and forwards is cool. What's also cool, going across your body like this. It'll warm the inner thigh up a little bit. It'll get stretched out and get it activated. Feel your glute a little bit more on this. And so for your lower body days, literally like that is so fine. Yeah, just literally doing that. So the first week or two, you might just go, no, I'm just doing this all lower body days. That'll be perfect. Grab onto a pole. It'll help you out. Now for an upper body day, Mandy, like we'll be doing things laying down on the ground, like rolling over. And I think you're getting the vibe. Twisting your core, I've got a feeling like won't feel too comfortable to start off with. So we'll try and avoid that sort of stuff. See how it goes. It might be a nice movement for you. Anyway, so an upper body day, wrist, elbow, shoulder. And generally on upper body days, you will use like your pecs and your back muscles a little bit. But if you just go a little bit lighter on the main movements to start off with, which you will anyway, it should warm you up well. So again, you can hop on the bike and do that. Or you could do a standing ski erg and sort of do these ones to get the blood flow going. For the mobility, these circles like this work out great. Same thing as before, 10 each way. Elbows, there you go, so 10 each way, something like that. And then shoulders, we got all these bad boys. So rolling around forwards, backwards, try alternating, you might get good at that. And then here, this might be a nice one. So this is where you could play around with how that twisting feels. It feels great. You can do like probably most of the warm-up stuff that we do. But here, you don't have to move like too far. You can sort of just swing your arms around and your arms will get, like they'll get stretched out and warmed up. There's also this one, like that. And so, yeah, so the twisting might be a good way to play around with how that's feeling. If you do all of that, that'll be mobile enough. But if you're looking for something more potent, grab one of these bands. So they'll be hanging up there. I'm a huge fan of this stuff because it helps your shoulder girdle get more stable. So good posture. And you're going over and back. Now, right now I'm relaxed doing this, which is a great like sort of mobilizing one. You relax through and move it. And if you want to get like some muscles primed up, try and keep your shoulders down and active and in good posture. Oh God. And it's a lot harder than you might think. Ugh. So if the band is a little bit too strong, you can just grab one strand of it like that. That's the only thing you got to avoid, but see how you go. There's a tricky way you can like hold the loose part of the band. I'll let you figure it out. We'll play around with it. But there's over and back, and then you can like go around like this too. So there's all those, which is great. And then the last one. So we try and like sort of keep these not set up if we don't have to, but grab these TRX cables from where you found those bands. It's just that cable thing goes through the loop. They should be partnered up in the right pairs so then you get two even lengths. But for here, I hope you can see me in the screen. Anyway, oh, hold on. Here we go. Bit of an angle. Okay, so for here, you'll be squared up to it a little bit better than me. But this is a really good one to get all those back muscles primed up. There'll be a bit of load going on. This will probably be a good main movement for you, but you can totally do that in the warm-up. Don't worry if you're like, say if you're wanting to do this and we're sort of warming up in the way or there's somebody's there, just ask them to scoot to the side. That's cool. Yeah. So overall, well, I'll save that for the end actually. I'll do another video. Okay, so overall, Mandy, we're looking to increase your blood flow. That's gonna be the first priority. Our the warm-ups that we're doing at the moment. So what we do with the new structure, hopefully you got my emails and signed up on Train Heroic, but if not, you can do that now. It's pretty simple, hopefully. Anyway, so our warm-ups, what we're doing is when everybody's coming in, so when it's like 5 a.m., we do like a 2-minute warm-up. We do like a little bit of mobility and everything. That might be good for you to jump on the bike and just roll through that. Once we do that little warm-up, we come in and we explain the warm-up, the prep sets, and then the main working sets. So we've done a little bit of mobility. Then we've actually got like a programmed warm-up with a smattering of exercises. It changes each day, but generally that part of the warm-up is a little bit more intense. So what you could do is for that first 2 minutes, that little block, or when you're in it, 4, 58, you can come in and just jump on the bike. And then when we're doing that mobility stuff, you're like, cool, I'm just going along with my bike. When it's the potent warm up, that's when you can do all that stuff that I just showed you, like all those potent mobility sort of things, and just roll through. I think we usually go for like 4 minutes max. So you should have your hands full with the movements that I've just shown you. And then after there, we've got our prep sets. That'll be where you're talking to the coach and going like, oh, hey, like I think this is going to work out well for me, blah, 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 or not. But we can just cover that when we get to it. So there's a nice long video. Thought it was going to be a little bit shorter on what you need to do for the warm up, and that we're going to just play around with it for 2 weeks and see how we go and develop a good system.